I shouldn't be doing this. That's all I keep thinking as I lie there, face down, my cheek pressed into the soft white towel. The smell of eucalyptus oil hangs thick in the air, warm and heady. My towel has slipped low across my hips, bearing more of my backside than I'd usually ever let anyone see. But right now, I'm not moving a muscle. Because Derek's hands are gliding over my lower back, his palms broad and warm, fingers pressing deep into the ache in my spine. Every time he pushes down, my breath catches in my throat. It's like he knows exactly where to touch me, how much pressure to use, how to make me melt even though I'm trying so hard not to. His thumbs slip closer to the dip just above my ass, and my body jolts with a shiver. It's a tiny movement, but I know he notices. He leans over me, his low voice sliding into my ear. "You okay, sweetheart?" Sweetheart. No one's called me that in years. My voice comes out a little shaky. Yeah. I'm okay. But I'm not okay. I'm burning. I'm dizzy. And I can feel myself getting wet, pressed between the massage table and my own traitorous body. That's when he does it, just a slow, circular rub right at the edge of my towel. My skin feels like it's on fire. His breath is warm on the back of my neck. And in that split second, I know, if he goes even an inch lower, I won't stop him. Not today. Not with my husband at work. Backhand index pointing right before I tell you how I ended up here, lying half naked under the hands of a man who isn't my husband. I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video if you're into stories where the truth gets messy. Because trust me, mine is about to get real messy. Flashback, 2 months earlier. My name? Well, let's just say it's safer if I keep that to myself. I'm a 37-year-old wife, living in a nice neighborhood in Orange County, California. You'd probably pass me in the grocery store and never think twice. I'm the one loading organic kale into my cart, texting my husband to ask if he wants salmon or chicken for dinner. To anyone on the outside, I look like the woman who has it all. Married 10 years. Decent house. A husband with a steady job in finance. No kids, just us and our quiet routines. And God, the routines. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in them. The loneliness beneath the perfect life. My husband, Greg, is a good man. He really is. He's never cheated, never hit me, never yelled. He pays the bills, mows the lawn, makes small talk with the neighbors. But over the past few years, it's like he's fading. He comes home exhausted. Drops his briefcase on the floor. Pecks me on the cheek. Then it's his laptop, his spreadsheets, sports highlights, and bed. Sex? Maybe once every couple of months, and always quick. Like we're ticking off a chore. He doesn't look at me anymore the way he used to. Doesn't touch me like he used to. And I hate how much that makes me ache. The day I decided to book a massage. It started innocently enough. One Wednesday morning, Greg left for work early. I stood in the kitchen, staring at the dirty coffee mugs in the sink, feeling invisible. My shoulders were tight. My lower back hurt. But mostly, I just wanted someone to touch me. Nothing sexual, I told myself. Just a massage. So I went online and searched. Mobile massage near me, male or female. That's when I found the profile. Derek S., licensed massage therapist. Experienced. 5-star reviews. Mobile service. His photo made my stomach do a little flip. He was black, probably late 30s, tall and broad-shouldered with smooth skin and a calm, warm smile. His bio said he specialized in deep tissue, sports massage, and creating a safe space for relaxation. It felt harmless. Professional. So I booked a session for Friday afternoon, a time when Greg would be at the office for sure. Preparing for Derek. I remember how nervous I was that Friday. I changed outfits 3 times before he arrived. settled on a pale pink robe that tied at the waist. I even shaved my legs, something I hadn't bothered with in weeks. My heart thumped so loud when the doorbell rang, I thought I'd faint. I opened the door, and there he was, Derek. His presence filled the doorway. He smelled like clean soap and faint sandalwood. His voice was low and gentle as he said, "Afternoon, ma'am. Ready for some relaxation?" I swear I felt my knees go weak. The first session. He set up the massage table right in the living room. Soft music played on a little Bluetooth speaker. The sun slanted through the blinds, warm and golden. I lay face down under the towel, heart hammering in my chest. At first, it was completely normal. Derek's hands were firm, skilled, methodical. He worked my shoulders, my neck, my arms. He talked to me in this low, soothing voice about pressure points and muscle knots. But somewhere between my mid-back and my lower back, his thumbs pressed deeper. Slower. Every time he exhaled, I felt his breath ripple across my skin. And my body started responding. My hips shifted. My breathing went shallow. I was trying so hard not to moan. He's just doing his job. I kept telling myself. He's just doing his job. It's nothing. You're imagining this. Except I wasn't. Because when his hands moved over my glutes, still covered by the towel, he didn't rush. He lingered, kneading gently, until the heat between my legs felt like a pulse. I bit my lip so hard I nearly drew blood. When he finished, I practically jumped off the table, face flushed. I wrapped my robe tight around me, mumbling that I'd transfer the money online. He smiled. "Take your time, sweetheart." Sweetheart. I couldn't stop thinking about that word all night. I needed more. After that first session, I told myself I wouldn't see him again. But a week later, I found myself scrolling through his booking page. I watched Greg leave for work, the same peck on the cheek, the same tired eyes. And my thumb hovered over book now. I hit it. The second session. This time, I made sure the house was spotless. I wore a fresh robe, a lacy thing beneath it instead of my usual cotton briefs. When Derek arrived, he raised an eyebrow, like he noticed. "Looking beautiful today," he said as he set up the table. The massage was even slower, deeper, more focused on my hips and thighs. I felt my core tighten every time his fingers slid close to the edge of my towel. My secret fantasy. That night, lying next to my husband in bed, I imagined Derek's hands on me. I imagined his fingers slipping lower. His lips on my skin. My husband was snoring beside me as I touched myself quietly under the covers, stifling a whimper as I came. Afterwards, I lay awake, guilt twisting my stomach. I was becoming someone I never thought I'd be. The temptation grows. A few days later, Derek texted me directly. "Hey beautiful. Want another session next week?" I stared at the message for a long time. My thumb hovered over the screen. I should have said no. Instead, I typed back. "Yes. Friday. Noon." And that's how it all began. I let it happen. I let him touch me while my husband was at work. And I know what you're probably thinking, how could I? Why would I risk everything? But it didn't feel like risk. It felt like oxygen. Backhand index pointing right. If you're still here, thank you for listening to my truth so far. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it if you're into real stories that aren't afraid to get raw and complicated. Because what happened next is a secret I never thought I'd confess. The third time Derek came over, I didn't bother pretending anymore. I wore a silk robe with nothing underneath. I set a glass of wine on the counter, even though it was barely noon. I even lit candles. Not because I needed ambience, but because I wanted him to feel invited. He didn't say anything when he walked in. But his eyes did a slow sweep of the room. Then of me. and his lips curved in a soft, knowing smile. "I see you're getting comfortable with me," he said. I smiled back. "You make it easy." He set up the table like usual. The Bluetooth speaker clicked on, filling the room with slow R&B, a soft, sensual rhythm that filled the silence between us. I lay down, heart hammering, towel across my backside, face turned to the side. His hands started slow. Familiar. Neck. Shoulders. Spine. He worked like a professional. Until he didn't. The shift. It was subtle. First his thumbs pressed a little deeper. Then slower. Then his hand slid lower on my thigh than it had ever gone. Right to the edge of where the towel barely covered me. I stiffened. And then relaxed. I didn't stop him. I didn't say a word. Because the truth was, I wanted it. Desperately. I hadn't been touched like that in years. Not gently. Not like I mattered. Eye contact. When he reached for the oil and smoothed it down my thighs, I let out a tiny gasp. My legs shifted apart slightly. Just enough. His fingers paused. "Do you want me to stop?" he asked quietly. I hesitated. My breath caught. "No," I whispered. It was the first time I'd said it out loud. The first time I'd admitted, even to myself, that I wanted more than a massage. Backhand index pointing right. If you've made it this far, you already know this story isn't just about touch, it's about everything that hides under the surface of a perfect marriage. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and drop a comment if you've ever kept a secret you couldn't tell your partner. The conflicted high. He continued the massage, but everything had changed. His hands now lingered between my legs. He didn't push too far, not yet. But he wasn't pretending anymore. He knew. I wanted him. And I wasn't going to stop it. When he left that day, my skin was flushed, my mind spinning. I wanted more. But I was also starting to feel the guilt settle in. The message that changed everything. That night, he messaged me. "You were glowing today. I could tell you wanted more. You say when, baby?" I stared at that text longer than I should have. Then I typed back. "Next Friday. Same time. No massage table." The week after my second massage with Derek was torture. Every time I went to bed, I felt my body pulse with memory. His fingers on my thighs, the way his breath had brushed my ear. I'd lie beside my husband, eyes open in the dark, while my mind replayed Derek's hands gliding over my skin. I wanted him. I wanted him so badly it scared me. But it also made me feel alive. So the next Friday, I told Derek not to bring his massage table. He arrived in jeans and a black t-shirt instead of his usual polo and scrubs. When I opened the door, he paused for just a second, letting his eyes travel over me. "You look beautiful," he said. The seduction. I poured us each a glass of white wine. My fingers were trembling as I handed his glass to him. He leaned against the counter, swirling the wine, watching me. Neither of us was talking about massage anymore. "You sure about this?" he asked. I nodded. I stepped closer. He set his glass down without breaking eye contact. And then he kissed me. His lips were soft but demanding. His tongue found mine, and I felt my knees buckle. His hands went to my waist, sliding beneath my robe. Giving in. Before I knew it, we were stumbling toward the bedroom. I barely remember stripping the robe off. His hands roamed over me, warm and rough and gentle all at once. He kissed down my neck, my chest, his tongue flicking over my nipples until I gasped. I'd forgotten how good it felt to be wanted. To be devoured. I wasn't thinking about my husband. Or my marriage. Only about how Derek made me feel like a woman again. The mirror moment. At one point, I caught our reflection in the bedroom mirror. Me, naked, pinned beneath him, head thrown back, mouth open in a silent cry. His dark skin gliding over mine, the contrast vivid and beautiful. And for a split second, guilt stabbed me so hard I almost told him to stop. But then he moved inside me again, and the guilt vanished into white-hot pleasure. Backhand index pointing right. I know some of you might judge me for this. But if you've ever felt starved for touch, you'll understand why I let it happen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you're still with me, because I'm not done confessing yet. The day we finally had sex was both the best and worst day of my life. Greg left for work early, as usual. He kissed me on the cheek, asked me to pick up dry cleaning. Ordinary. Safe. But the moment his car pulled out of the driveway, I texted Derek. Come now. No table. A different kind of touch. When Derek arrived, he didn't waste time. He grabbed me the second the door closed. His kiss was deep and urgent. I felt his hands everywhere, my hair, my breasts, my waist. We didn't talk much. I pulled him toward the bedroom. He pulled me closer, lifting me against the wall. I remember how different it felt from sex with Greg. Derek wasn't careful or routine. He wasn't shy. He touched me like he owned me. Like he'd been starving for me. The intensity. On the bed, he stripped me slowly, eyes on mine the whole time. He kissed every inch of me. He whispered things that made me blush and made my body clench around nothing. When he finally pushed inside me, I cried out. I tried to muffle it with my hand, but he pulled my hand away. Let me hear you, he said. So I did. The room smelled like sweat and sandalwood oil. The sheets tangled around our legs. I dug my nails into his back. It felt like drowning, and I didn't want to be saved. Afterward. When it was over, he lay there a minute, stroking my hair. He kissed my forehead gently, almost sweetly. Then he stood, pulled on his jeans, and left without another word. Hiding the evidence. I showered twice. Scrubbed the sheets. Sprayed perfume everywhere. Deleted every text. By the time Greg came home, I was in leggings and a sweatshirt, acting like nothing had happened. I served him dinner, laughed at his jokes, watched TV beside him on the couch. But all I could think about was Derek's voice in my ear, whispering how good I tasted. Backhand index pointing right. I know I'm painting myself like the villain here. Maybe I am. But it felt like the first time I'd been awake in years. Like my body belonged to me again. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because my story isn't over yet. It's been 4 months since that day. I haven't seen Derek again. We stopped texting after that final session. Not because I wanted to, but because I knew I had to. I'm terrified Greg might find out. A random text. A slip of the tongue. A memory I can't hide on my face. So I cut it off. Living with the secret. Greg still doesn't know. He thinks we're fine. We've even had sex a couple times since then, careful, routine, quiet. The same old script. And while I'm with him, sometimes my mind drifts. I close my eyes and imagine Derek's lips, Derek's hands. And the guilt twists my stomach all over again. Why she won't tell. I've thought about confessing. But what would I say? Hey, honey. I let a black masseuse fuck me while you were at work because I was lonely and starved for attention? I'd destroy him. I'd destroy everything. So I keep my secret. A lingering ache. Sometimes, when Greg's asleep beside me, I touch myself and remember Derek's weight pressing me into the mattress. Other times, I feel sick to my stomach for betraying my husband. But if I'm being brutally honest, I'm not sorry it happened. I'm only sorry I can't go back and do it again. Her final confession. So here I am. Telling all of you, strangers behind screens, because I can't tell anyone else. I'm not looking for forgiveness. I just needed someone to know the truth. Backhand index pointing right. If you've stayed with me through this whole confession, thank you. You're the only ones who know my secret. If you want more real stories like this, subscribe, like, and share. Because I have more secrets than this. And I'm not done telling them yet.